All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week in Base Hit. And as always, I am your host Zubaz, and I'm joined once again by wait a minute, that's not Clone. That's my friend Andujar. Jar, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, happy to be on.
I'm glad you're on, man. It's good to see you. It's been a while since we've talked.
Yes, it has been. Lots have happened.
And for those of you that don't know Jar, when did you start? You came in like 2004-ish, right?
Yes, but not really intense right away. But yeah, I played for a few years before I really latched onto the game.
Yep. And oh, actually, now this is just crossing my mind. I kind of forgot about it, but wasn't you're obviously your screen name is after Joaquin Andujar, but didn't wasn't your first account Joaquin?
Uh, no, I think Andujar was, but I had a walking account when there was a limit on number of teams you could have. I
Oh,
wanted to go over 10. Uh, and yeah, I think that one's lost.
yeah, that's lost to the purges of 2007 or whenever there was a bunch of league purges.
You know,
That's crazy, man. So how many leagues are you in now?
I think I'm in 12 or 13.
Oh, you're creeping up on me.
But about 7 of them are paused.
Oh.
I'm a placeholder in several. I got a couple tournament of champions teams that still show up. So
uh
realistically, probably 6 or 7.
Yeah. What leagues are you in?
Um,
PCL, obviously.
yeah, a lot with you. I'm in the 2-a-day lawn chair.
Lawn chair. Yep, great league. Love it.
Carl.
Yep.
I'm in a 55 million hard cap league called League of Champions
Oh.
that the Zubot recommended to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Um, I'm in Dynasty. I got
Oh,
a lot of like real odd leagues with different rule sets. I'm in Bobcat's PGML league,
Peter Gammon's league, yeah.
yeah, which is one of the paused ones right now, but it just wrapped up. I did not uh I did not do well in that league due to inattentiveness.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was fun, and his concept is great for that league. If he does another sprint, I'll definitely do it again. Um, I'm still in I forget Chi Beta CBF.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I know
Chi
it's
Beta
old league.
Federation.
Yeah. Um,
That's been around for a long time.
and that's a letter league. I can't quit that one because I really like my team name. I named it after the Polk County Sheriff who was in the news like in during COVID times. Is like, don't bring your shit here. Try to cause problems. We got guns. And he was
Oh,
like,
and he had like 40 guys behind him. And he's like,
yeah,
"You think you're gangster? Well, I
yeah,
got the gangsters with the badges or whatever." It's
yeah,
amazing. It's one of the
yeah. I
great
love that
videos
guy.
ever. Yeah.
And my neighbor is from Polk County, so I thought it was
Is it
hilarious.
in Florida? Polk County?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's in between Orlando and Tampa.
Okay.
Um,
That's so funny because there was literally like 60 people in that video. There's like 4 dogs. There's like it's so
great.
overdone. It's just hilarious.
But we're not looting here. If
I'm
you're
sure
looting
it was
dumpsters,
effective.
that sounds like the most Texas thing I've ever heard.
Uh, so so when you talk about that, I actually am very interested in this because LQ's starting up a new league and it has some interesting rules and it's based on relegation, something I know that's near and dear to your heart. He's trying to do like an English Premier League thing. And but my worry has always been like I feel like because I have 16 teams, like how well can I do in a league with a bunch of rules? And you're in Dynasty, which obviously it's not even just the rules, it's just the things you have to be active with. How do you feel about that league? What do you like about it? What's the struggle,
About
if any?
Dynasty or
Yeah.
okay.
No, Dynasty.
Dynasty, I'm in the college side, and I really like the aspect of recruiting players, and then the turnover is so fast, so you don't have to do like a 7 or 8 year build. You can really turn over in a year or two. Once again, inattentiveness on my part. I think I made the playoffs, but so I don't know if anybody else is paying attention either. But but I missed the whole recruiting cycle this year. But that's one of the things I really like about this game is if you do get busy, it still moves, you still goes, and you can
Yep.
have to recover a little bit, but you're still in the game.
Yep. Yep. I agree with that too. I mean, like the cool thing about base hit is just like the number of ways you can play is interesting. Like redraft, obviously, like we've competed in that, and that's a new league every season. But then like TCL is like the epitome of like a 200-year dynasty league. But Peter Gammons, I don't know much about that. What's the rule set there?
Um, it was 24 teams, but 12 of them were essentially your farm club. And so it was really 12 teams playing for
Gotcha.
8 playoff spots. And it was a 10-year cycle. And then it was like after that it might be the end, or we may decide we're going to revisit everything after 10.
And so all your draft picks in your top or in your active team, do they go to the other team and then you play that team for the next sprint? Or
I think that's the gist of it, but
yeah.
I never really caught up. I was a late sub for somebody who dropped out, and Bobcat messaged me, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll fill a role for you. I don't know what you're gonna get out of me, because here, look at these other teams of mine that are all doing terrible." So I played along, and I like the concept of it, and the guys in the league are real active, which makes any league.
Yep. Are you in the LQ league? The new relegation league?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, good.
I was either 23 or 24.
Yeah, I was a late starter too. I got asked a couple times, and I was like, I just don't know if I can be an active member of this thing. But then the league sounded so cool. I was like, I gotta try it. Like it's something that
That's
we've
where I'm
wanted
at.
to figure out for a long time. I always wanted remake to become a relegation thing, but there just wasn't enough activity. And I think LQ might have cracked the code on how to do it without it being so over engineered. So I don't know. It should be cool.
Yeah, I've played in 2 different relegation leagues before this one, and the one that you played in, the original relegation, where I was moving players using
You
it
literally
basically
created
was
that league.
Sean made the team move tool. I didn't ask for it, but he made it kind of for me and for other people that wanted to do that, because they asked me how I did it. I'm processing trades or swapping players,
Oh my God.
It would just take a couple hours once you got used to it.
Yeah.
The other one was really interesting too. I think it was called World Baseball Classic, and they had 4-year cycles, and you moved based on your outcome of those 4-year cycles. So it wasn't every year. And I
Oh,
played in that one for probably 3 or 4 cycles before I moved on.
that league's still around. I actually don't know anything about World Baseball Classic.
I don't know.
Huh. That's cool. So in World Baseball Classic, you're representing a country.
Yes,
Yeah. Can you do renames so it can be authentic?
I believe they did. Yes,
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good idea.
It was a very interesting concept too. I like the league.
And then obviously we're in TCL together. Sorry, I'm just like blabbing on, but I'm totally stuck in that league. I'm just so lost as to what to do with that team. Like I think probably everybody listening's been at a point where you have a team that's good enough to like be above 500, but they can't make the playoffs, but there's no really way to break them apart. I'm just so lost with that team. I don't have any defense. Just I don't know.
That's one of the things that I don't have an answer for it either. But when you get stuck in that limbo and the 3rd and 4th place finish where you're not going to make the playoffs, but you're not getting the top picks either, in the
Right.
and that's TCL is a standard league, and it's in terms of the setup, you can get in this limbo where you either have to break it down and you don't want to tank, but you have to break it down and get assets for later. You gotta or you gotta buy, and then it can make it even worse.
Yep.
It's a
And
tough spot.
it's a tough spot in that league specifically because I had a history when it was soft cap where I would go all in. I would run a team until, and I think you coined the term, it was dying, all capital letters, and then run it into the ground. But then, like the team, I couldn't recover, so like I bottomed out so bad that like it wasn't intentional tanking, but it's intentional in the sense that I ran the team till it died, and then I got a
Yeah,
bunch of good picks. So like and so I don't
you
want to get that moniker again either. So that's why I'm not breaking the team apart.
yeah, that's it's tough to avoid that because you want to when you're good, you want to be as good as you can be. So
Yep.
you invest everything in that team, and then it's eventually going to go bad because you sold everything.
Yep. Yep. And they're mediocre enough that they're gonna die. So anyway, so
Uh,
I'm kind of
I
roughed up.
gotta since we're still talking TCL, and I know TCL gets a lot of attention on this show.
Yeah.
I gotta give a shout out to Balmer who just eliminated me in the LCS. I beat
Oh,
Pimp this year in the playoffs. So I mean the small ball World Series.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So,
and for the first time though, this in my most recent memory, every game was decided by a run. I lost 4-1 and was out lost like 4 games that were 3-2 and 4-3. So it was a little painful, but I feel better because Bombers has a much better team than I. So
yeah.
my team kind of showed well.
Whenever I lose like that, I just say it felt like playoff baseball, right? Because it's all one
Yeah.
run games, all like just scraping by. But yeah, but in actuality, it's like I was this close to beating a team that was probably better than me on paper.
Right.
Oh man. Yeah. So what else is going on? What's happening in the world of Jar?
Oof. It doesn't stop when you got the 5 kids and they're all. I'm gonna have 4 in high school next year, and I got 2 driving. So that's
Dude,
yeah. Uh,
that you have four in high school. How do they take your car? Like what?
well, they're gonna have. We just got my my stepdaughter goes between her and her dad's house, so she had to get a car kind of right away. Otherwise, uh, for our personal sanity, she
Yeah.
needs driving. And she's got a job, so she's all over the place. My boy got his license in April, and we've been juggling 2 cars for 3 drivers, and we just finally bid it and got a third one. So
So it's
uh,
just chaos.
it kind of is, yeah.
But at least is it better when they're like because so you've had them for all for their whole life, obviously. But is it better when you have four that are like younger and maybe more compliant, but they're more chaotic? Or is it better when there's four in high school where they can take care of themselves, but they are off doing who God knows what?
Um, I don't know. It's both of those are bad. The absolute worst for me was middle school. Middle schoolers are the worst human beings in the world. They are awful, awful people. Um,
They're
and you
just
get
figuring out how to be defiant.
yeah, yeah, they are. That's as bad as it gets for me. But
Yeah,
we're almost all out of that. I only got one middle schooler left, and next year we'll have all 5 of them in high school at the same time. So I don't know if that's a
that's
record or
wild.
not. Um, but
That also means that you're on the like the 4 year clock of just being like, okay, you're adults now.
I'm
Go.
so excited to be an empty nester. I hope it happens. I hope one of these kids doesn't live here until they're 30, but no, it might happen. Anyway, that's it for
Uh,
me.
all right.
Um, yeah. Hey,
Let
did what's with Dublin? Is that's
Dublin,
not a Cardinals
Wisconsin.
hat?
Yeah, no, yeah, I am from some prairie. This is my grandpa's hat, actually. Uh, there's this little town in Wisconsin called Dublin. It's by like this. I don't even know if they use it anymore, but Camp Douglas is the old army base, and I think like Volk Field is there now. But it's this beautiful little town. It's just nothing but campgrounds, small little town, and he used to take me out there every once in a while. But the funny thing about it is like it is beautiful little area, but because there is an airfield there, like occasionally, like you'd be camping, and all of a sudden F-16 would fly right over at like
Oh,
6 in the morning. And but yeah, it was a cool little spot.
that's awesome. There's so much stuff in Wisconsin. It's,
Yeah.
I
You know,
mean,
Minnesota says they're the land of 10,000 lakes, but like Wisconsin has more lakes than Minnesota. It's a beautiful area. I love everything about it, except for the winter.
yeah,
The
my
winter kills it.
people from my hometown would go up there snowmobiling up on or around Lake Superior.
Oh, they go way up there.
Yeah, I have a very famous story and a koozie on my koozie wall. It's called "Where's Pat?" And then down the bottom it says she fell off because they were leaving a bar one night and they had on all this snowmobile equipment, so it was all bulky. And my father-in-law took off, and my mother-in-law fell off the back, and he drove for a half an hour, and she went back in the bar. And he got out, realized that she wasn't there anymore. Yeah. So anyway, I love that snowmobiling story.
How far was it before he noticed that she wasn't
Oh,
there?
he was on a snowmobile for 30 minutes, probably. I think he said they go like 80 or 90 on those things. Like they go really fast, especially across lakes where there's nothing out there. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good story. As long as she was all right.
Yeah, she, oh, she was
That could have
perfectly
gone
fine.
sideways. Yeah.
So
Oh my
yeah,
God, that's funny. All right, man. Clone's gonna get mad at me because we're way over 15 minutes, but I do have to
man, it's so
acknowledge,
fast.
yeah, I have to acknowledge that when I won the TCL rollback, you were nice enough to send me something that sits on my desk to this day. I
Yeah.
have the trophy right here, the TCL rollback trophy. It's the only trophy I've ever earned in my life.
I have one exactly like that. It says 2023 Wiffle champion.
Oh, yeah.
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 So
Oh,
I
man.
love those little trophies. We give them out for stuff.
I still have never won that league. That's for those watching, that's our fantasy football league. I have been in that league forever, and I always finish like fourth. Always. I just don't know how to do anything else but finish fourth.
Awesome. Well, I extended this for another 2 minutes just to piss off Clone.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it again, man. This is fun. Appreciate you as always.
Sounds great.
All right. For everybody else, that's the week in base hit. We'll see you next week.